What is going on, everybody? Anthony here, 6 Skill Mafia. Mafia in the morning. It is the afternoon. It is what it is. Episode 33, man. PAZ VIZSLA in the house. Heavy Infantry Mando, also known as, right? A bit crazy, right? A bit, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one. So I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. I wanted to share my thoughts with you. We'll talk, we'll see how this goes here. So let me say what's up to everybody in the chat real quick before we get into it, man. We do have, what's up, my man? Peyton23 says, good evening, my man, from across the way, man. Good evening to you. DK, what's up, dude? So is the only change the shield? Well, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Haas hometown in the house as well. What's good, my man? The square puff up. I don't know. We'll have to look. We're gonna have to look here and see. Kinky Sphincter, my dude. Well, let's go give away Lael's Jin Urso. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. He'll never give it up. 1-6 shape, my man. Also in the house. No cyborg, no care. Yeah, man. I know, dude. It's all your resident DC, man. I get it. Andreas, what's good, dude? Was hoping that John Favreau head sculpt. Yeah, nope. We didn't get it. Am I tripping? Or did they announce this already? No, but this is the, this is a reissue, man. This is a reissue for sure. And we'll break it down. Diablo Fett, my dude, man, it's been a while, man. Says, yo, hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Good to be a part of the live stream again. The evening streams are past this old duder's bedtime. Yeah, man, I do apologize. Yeah. I'm glad to have you here live, though, brother. That's badass. See what else we got. Red Wolf, what's up, my dude, as well? What's going on, everyone? Mando is looking like the new cash cow for Hot Toys. Yeah, man. As far as Star Wars is concerned, absolutely, man. I am legend. Dang, I paid $380 for the heavy Mando. I feel like I got gypped. Yeah, man. That happens. No, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I mean, the funny thing about Heavy Infantry Mando is through just, I don't know, just the way the stars aligned, I ended up having 3 of those guys, man. I will briefly talk about it here in a second. Let me just say what's up to everybody else, man. Commander Green also in the house. What is good, my dude? Boba Fettuccine, what is up? Man, I love your name. 1-6 Star Wars Pimpazoid as well. Need that N1. Oh, it's coming. Chasing, my dude, what is good? Thank you as well for coming in, man. FBJ as well. What's up, buddy? Equan also in the house, dude. 1-6 Salvo. Jason, my man. Big Dog Pound in the house, my dude. As always, dude. Collector Joey. Shit, man. A lot of people coming in this morning right now or this afternoon. Chris Rodriguez, what is good, my man? Hope everyone's doing good. Who else we got up in here? S Beam. What's up, man? And David, my dude, what is also good, dude? Joker displayed with Batgirl. Yes, it was fire. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you enjoy that, my friend. So, as I was saying, the stars aligned. I ended up having 3 Heavy Infantry Mandos. And I'm gonna break it down real quick just to kind of, give you a little heads up on it. So I believe Heavy Infantry Mando, I think he showed up in 2019. It doesn't sound like it was that long ago, right? I think they announced him late 2019. And I believe he came out in 2020, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm pretty sure he came out in 2020. But see, the interesting thing about Heavy Infantry Mando, though, right, was that he was the first figure to go waitlist on Sideshow before he shipped. Right. And so, like, right now, this is now new behavior with Sideshow, right? This is common practice now, right? They're retraining us with whatever they're doing. But prior to that, dude, that was so rare of an occurrence to happen, right? It just doesn't happen, bro, at all. And for whatever reason, I had no inside knowledge to that, but I pre-ordered 2 of them. I don't know what it was. It was in the cards. I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna get 2 Heavy Mandos, and I did. And then the funny thing is as of course, this is when Sideshow was still like it took a while, right? So eventually he shipped. Eventually, right? Like, it was out in Hong Kong, and I think it took like 4 to 6 months for Sideshow to get them. I remember that. It was grueling. I was like, dude, where the hell's our heavy Mando? I remember this shit. So long story short, I kept my Mando, and then I sold mine for like $450 or some shit, the second one. And then down the road, a little ways away, somebody else was selling one, but he was selling it as like a package deal. And I believe and it was crazy, because sometimes you run into this crazy shit. He was selling a Coruscant Guard and a heavy infantry Mando, but only as a set, and for $400 shipped. So I was like, well, shit, that's like $200 a figure, dude. So then I sold that heavy infantry Mando, right? Because I was like, whatever, it was in the cards, and I didn't have a Coruscant Guard at the time anyway. Whatever. I digress. The point is like, heavy infantry Mando was kind of like, whoa, there's some semblance of like value here in this figure, whereas a lot of other stuff wasn't really holding a lot of value. But as we all know, Hot Toys is and I'm not saying he was a grail by any stretch, but we all know Hot Toys is a grail killer. And then when we saw, Paz Vizsla, as named, and he was in Book of Boba Fett, right in what is it, episode 6 or 7 of the Boba Fett with the Mando just the Mando episodes. We knew it. We knew it then. We knew it then that it was going to happen. And then we seen this figure, summer showcase. I think it was over a Star Wars Celebration, right? And he had a shield. So we were like, fuck, here we go, right? They're just gonna reissue this guy with a shield and call it a day. Well, that day has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. So on one hand, I feel like, okay, cool, this is a good opportunity for people to buy it if they didn't have that opportunity before, right? I get that. But yeah, see, Home Alone, man, fucking love your name. Constant reissues make me too nervous to buy any grails. See, that's the problem, right? So it makes you kind of like, moving forward, right? Like, what do you want to do here? Like, do you want to try to get something and then know that maybe later it's inevitable, right? But I wouldn't say it's like 100% of figures though, right? It's not 100%, right? Like even if they, start 2.0ing like a original trilogy, for example, right? I think it would be very, very slow if they did it, right? They typically only about 5% do like reissues or 2.0s, right? So it's interesting. But I understand that, right? Because it gets you a little bit as a collector. You're like, man, I don't want this shit to like go crazy and then be reissued, and I totally get that. Yeah, he was sold out immediately. I freaked out and bought 2 or 3. Yeah, right. See, because I don't know why I did it though, to tell you the honest truth. I was just like, I'm gonna get 2 of these guys, and I almost never do that, right? So maybe like future Anthony came to the past and let me know, like, hey dude, you better fucking get this, because I have no idea. But anyway, that was my story. As a collector, just these are little anecdotes that I'm sure we all have and share. So it was pretty interesting, dude. Arcastro, what's good, man? What's up, Anthony? Thanks for the afternoon entertainment. Do you think the shield is the only difference? Well, somewhat, yes. As a matter of fact, I think I just saw Pain in the house here. My chat is sometimes funky, but Pain actually kind of brought something to my attention last night. So the coloring might be a little bit different. The color might be a little bit different here. And I'll bring it up here in a minute. But yeah, what's up, everybody joining in on the chat, man? We are speaking about Heavy Infantry Mando, aka Paz Vizsla. Interesting, right? It's interesting. I thought it was appropriate too. I'm wearing my Heavy Mando shirt, which is badass, man. Had that forever. I was like, fuck it, man. Let's do this. Let's talk about this. So what am I going to bring up here? So we have, dude, let's bring up Heavy. Let's bring up Heavy first. Is this Heavy? Let me bring up Heavy first. Okay. So Heavy Infantry Mando obviously sold out on Sideshow, right, for a while. He was sold for $281. Okay. That's where we were when he dropped. PAZ VIZSLA is $284 or $85, right? The only one, I think he's $285. Let me see. He's $285. So that's okay, because I was thinking about that last night. I was like, this fucking thing's gonna be like $300. So I'm pleasantly surprised that they only increased the price by $4. Right, because I figured, okay, well, $4 is going to be whatever cost the shield is going to be the shield, right? So, all right, we know it's $4 for a shield. So if any of you guys out there are going to start selling this shield, sell it for like 10. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what I'm saying on that one, dude. Yeah, my man, dude. What is up, Payne? My dude. CT603 also in the house, my guy. Heading home, entertain me. Yo, well, listen, we're gonna talk, man, because you were like, oh, you fuck, man. He messaged me this morning. I can't wait for you to get all your fucking OT reissued. I understand your guys' frustration, I really do, but also at the same time, I understand that there's people who didn't have an opportunity to buy them, and they have a chance. But anyway, if we just look at some of this stuff, right, and I just want to kind of briefly go over the contents, not so much the figure itself in photos, right? So if we're reading on Heavy Infantry Mando, newly developed helmet, metallic blue color. So we gotta keep eye on those notes. Metallic blue color, you know, finely crafted body, whatever. Approximately 32 centimeters tall. So the PAZ VIZSLA is also 32 centimeters tall. So keep that in mind, right? He has 7 pieces of interchangeable gloved hands. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of bounce back and forth on this one, right? So when we look at PAZ VIZSLA, and maybe let me see if I can zoom in on this shit for you guys to make it a little more legible here. So same thing, 32 centimeters tall, right? Same 30 points of articulation, dude, right? So, but now he has 8 pieces, bro. So he has 8 different hands. So here's the 2 differences that I'm spotting so far. So when we look at the original, right, he has 7 hands. He's got a pair of fists. So does the new one. They have a pair of relaxed hands. So does the old one. 1 pair of hands holding the blaster, right? Okay, same. 1 pair of hands. He's got 1 right hand. Now the new one, right? 1 right hand for holding the blade and 1 gesture right hand, which I believe is the salute. So that's it, dude. Whereas that's the only hand that they added 1 hand, bro. They added 1 hand because heavy infantry also had the blade hand, right? So, and I was bouncing back and forth there between these two to try to show you. But so as far as accessories go, right, he has 1 hand and he's got a shield, bro. So let's talk a little bit in the chat real quick. We'll get back into this. Mike says, to be fair, though, I think he comes with more than just a shield. There's a picture of his heavy boots at the end of all the pics. So I mean, we'll break it down, right? So he has 1 hand, which I believe is a salute hand, and he has a shield. Okay. $4 difference from the original. However, of course, the original's been sold out, right? So Revenge of the Sixth, what's good, dude? Hey, what's up? I'll be watching this on my flight right now. Dude, that's badass, man. Where you headed, man? That's badass. Appreciate it. No Favreau head sculpt. Yeah, no, dude. Well, why would you have one anyway, Bob, right? Like, I mean, I guess as like a collector, you might be like, yo, I would kind of like to have a head sculpt. But he hasn't technically taken his helmet off. I know Hasbro made one with it. Exactly, but still, right? Like, I get it. Like, it'd be kind of neat to have. But wait, there's more. You know, you're going to end up probably seeing him at some point, and we're going to get another Heavy Infantry Mando. Because you know what's going to happen. I like that. PAZ VIZSLA. That's good, man. Damn, that's good. I should have used that as a thumbnail. That's a good one, man. That's a good one, Castro. So anyway, I'm gonna move into here and we can take a look at this. So the difference really here, right, is what am I on right now? I'm on Heavy Infantry Mando. Okay, sorry. So that's about it, right? It still has the same thing: articulated heavy blaster with detachable strip and a blade, right? Cool. We look at a new guy, right? Same shit, except he gets one energy shield attachable to left forearm. So it's going to have like a snap thing or something, right? That's it. So he doesn't actually hold it in his hands. It attaches to the forearm. Okay, cool. But now if we look back at the description of the costume, was it description or right above it? Let's see. So the new description says finely crafted helmet in blue color with metallic accent, right? Whereas our old one here said almost the same wording, right? Newly developed helmet in metallic blue color. So, okay, you know what I'm saying? So we can look at some of these photos here. So here's Heavy Infantry Mando, right? And we can kind of see, I wonder if I can zoom in on this without it like breaking. No, because sideshow stuff's there, whatever. If we try to compare the colors, I think he's different. No, I don't think he's chrome heavy in that sense, right? They're not going to make him chrome. So, but when you compare the two images here, right? Like if we bring up this new figure, damn, sideshow's stupid. I should have downloaded the pictures, but okay, you can see his, okay, so let's look at his blue. We look at his blue here and we look at this dude's blue here. Maybe I can get a better, there we go. There we go. So if we bounce back and forth, you can kind of tell that he's a lighter shade. He is a lighter shade, man. So that's it. That's it. I mean, that's it, dude. You have a lighter shade of blue. You have an extra salute hand, and you have the energy shield, right? Is that enough? Is this a reissue? That's what I want to know. You know, is that subjective, or is there a definitive answer to that? That's what I want to know. So is Heavy Mando a reissue? I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat if you could indulge me in this poll in the chat, guys, because I'm saying this is a reissue, right? I'm saying it's a reissue. I'd like to hear what you guys' thoughts are on that one, dude. Let me see in the chat here. I swear somebody just brought up a point here that I was trying to see. Heading to Cabo. Oh, dude, have fun, man. Wi-Fi is better than I thought. I was able to pick up the first release. Great figure. Lots of shelf presence. Hell yeah, dude. There you go. What is good, my man? This is old 501st Blue versus new 501st Blue. Yeah, right. It's very akin to the 501st that we received from Clone Wars versus the 501st that we're getting as seen in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, right? That's definitely a good point, dude. And I honestly don't know why they're obsessed with blue, my friend. They just are, I guess, right? So I thought the salute hand came with the original. I had recently just gotten rid of mine, but he has one additional gesture hand in comparison, right? So Heavy had 7 and PAZ VIZSLA has 8. So I'm really wondering here if we can find, you know, I'm still not used to Sideshow's new front end here. Let's bring this up if we can. And in comparison, let me see if I can pull up his. No, I can't even zoom in on these photos, guys. This is so stupid. Like I zoom in and it zooms in on the bar here. So he has one other hand. And I don't know what gesture hand it is, but it's one hand. So he had 8 and fucking homeboy had 7. So there's a difference there. Like, I don't know. I think it was the salute, but I don't remember, man. Did he have the salute? He did have the salute hand. He did, because I'd recently just packed him up, man. But it's a $4 difference, so at least that's not bad if you didn't have an opportunity to buy him, right? Big Dog Pound, good point, man. If you have a 3D printer, you can make the energy shield shelf, of course. You know. Said a little bit of chat here. Home Alone says Hot Toys really do hate letting figures gain value. Drives me crazy that even D-tier characters are getting reissues a few years later. Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. Carlito, my man, longtime supporter of the channel, dude. He says, if you have the first heavy Mando and you aren't much of a dynamic poser like me, assuming the new one has improved articulation, I don't believe it does at all. They don't mention it. Then this is an easy pass unless you care that much about the shield. Yeah, here's the thing. I think for most people who have this figure, they're not going to buy it. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to buy it. Right? Because why would you? Like, there's really no point in it. Chris Rodriguez, my man, says, if they are doing straight reissues, I'd love to see Batflick since the figure is in the $400 to $600 range. I'm trying to find a deal, but it's insane. It is, dude. It is. What are we looking at? Mario, whatever you sent me, bro, I can't see. Hit me up in the chat, bro. Let me know. But Mario was onto something too, and I don't recall. So shout out to Mario. El Professaro, you know, my dude. He called something, but I can't tell because I can't see the damn thing on my phone. But absolutely right, man. I'm honestly surprised they didn't give him a Darksaber accessory since he held it for like 10 seconds, right? I mean, that's the thing, dude. I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know what they're doing. Let me see. We'll hit up a little more of the chat, man, where we look in here. To me, it's not about making money. It's about figures holding their value. Should be able to sell off a figure and break even. Constant reissues ruin that and makes us need to be super careful. Dude, I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. You know, because I had recently, so perfect example. They're not all gone, but I've basically sold off my Mandalorian run. And it was just because it doesn't fit my collection. I'll still watch the show. I still love the show. I don't need every Hot Toys IP, right? So I'm keeping only a few figures from each Star Wars IP, except my OT, right? Like OT is all, that's OT. But for all the other IPs, I'll have one, I'll have like 2 figures of each IP, right? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get rid of it. And I've been thinking about that for like 6 months. I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna get out because I had every single Mandalorian release since it started. So it's kind of cool, actually, in a weird way that, makes me feel a little bit better. I sold the Dark Trooper, my man. Dark Trooper's gone. I still have a Remnant Trooper, an Artillery Stormtrooper, a Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. I don't know what else I have. A couple other figures, dude. So didn't even touch old Return of the Damn. See, yeah, so, I mean, because I have everything, dude. So OT, and that's my jam. Everything, all my stuff is like 80s and 90s, and then comic books. So did Hot Toys even announce Kang? No, not yet. Not yet. So not too sure. Not too sure. Yeah, Remnant's good, man. If you need it, I've got one. If anybody wants to buy it. All right, so Mario's trying to send me something to I can't hear this, bro. You want me to pull this up on Facebook? Hold on, man. Mario sent me something, so let me try to pull this up and see if we can see what he sent me. One second, guys. I'm gonna pull up this video he sent me. I'm confused. Are people in this hobby to make money? Well, I wouldn't say yes, but I would also say I understand where people want to, if they ever get to a point, like for me, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of my Mando. The problem with that, right, is that and I believe Hot Toys and Sideshow, are working to try to get back to how they were, Hot Toys of old, right? Where I feel like for me, I was like, I'm gonna get out of Mando. Kind of sucks, right? If you were like 5 years ago, if I decided to get rid of something, I knew I would at least break even at the very least, right? Unless they were like specifically chase figures or grail prices, then obviously you would make a little bit of a tidy profit depending on who you sold it to. But as of now, like, a lot of this stuff is just so oversaturated that if people do try to sell some stuff, they're not breaking even, bro. And I don't even mean even by MSRP either, right? Because you have to factor in your tax and shipping too, right? So people end up taking losses often if they get rid of their stuff. And I know that's a little discouraging. You know, I get that. But no, I wouldn't necessarily think or say that it's about making money, right? You just want to make sure that there's value in what you're buying, though, right? Because if your values dropped and subsequently if Hot Toys keeps putting out reissues, you're like, damn, like, where's my money going? Like, why would I buy this if you're just gonna drop another version of it later, right? It just, I get that part, dude. Let's see what everybody's saying here in the chat about Future. What is up, my dude? So Arizona, my dude, thank you for coming through, bro. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up Mario's thing here too as well. Hot Toys just realized that they have already released most of season 3. Yes. See, that was another reason why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna probably get out, because I heavily suspect that everything that we have in Mando is gonna get fucking 2.0'd, bro. We're gonna get a Bo-Katan maybe with longer hair. We're gonna get another armorer if she plays you know, a better role, or you know, more have a more active role, right? Maybe they'll put her out again with fucking double joints. We'll probably get another Death Watch Mando, like things like that. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be collecting multiples of that shit personally. And I don't, you know, if people want to do that, that's awesome. Because like with OT, I collect multiples, right? I have like every Luke, you know, every Leia, like so on and so forth. If that's what you want to do and have multiple versions of Mandalorian characters, by all means. But for me, it was like, that's not for me personally. So anyway, let me see what Mario sent me. Are you speaking in this video? I wonder. Let me share this with everybody here. We're gonna drop the music here for a second and see if we can share what Mario's showing us here. So bring this up on screen. So there's Paz Vizsla. And this was when Mario was at Celebration. I turned up the volume because I thought maybe you were speaking, but I think he's just showing off the character. But yeah, there he was at Celebration. Yeah, so absolutely, man. Mario, thank you for the footage, my dude. So as you guys can see, I mean, once we saw that, it was like, oh shit, it's happening. Justin Bird, I am absolutely ecstatic for Return of the Jedi. So it just depends as a collector, right? Because, and I've already said this, there is a condition to this, but I will buy everything that Hot Toys puts out that's 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. However, if it's a reissue, I'm not buying it, because what do I have it. I have everything. Right? Like some people suspect, oh, maybe you'll get another Palpatine. I'm not buying it, you know? Unless it's like a 2.0 that you can absolutely see that there's a difference or something, right? I can do 2.0s on certain stuff. I'm cool with that. You know, if they 2.0 the OT, then the OT guys can go in the Falcon cockpit, right? And then you still have a shelf display of your figures. So it really depends. But essentially, I'm not there, bro. Chewy's Bandolier, what's good, my man? Thank you for coming through, dude. He says there are far better and easier ways to invest and make money. Hot toy speculation would never be a wise idea. I 100% agree with you. Do not try to invest in Hot Toys or 6-scale figures and expect to make money. It's just nice when you do, right? Because you're like, damn. You know, case in point, when I'll always use this as a reference. Whenever I bought my zombie Deadpool, I bought him from Sideshow. You know, paid full retail price, tax and shipping, all in. And then I see them like a month or two later for like $150. And that kind of makes you feel foolish, right? Because you're like, well, shit, I just spent almost like $300, and now this figure is literally half the price of what I just paid for. And we all know that we're in an expensive hobby. I mean, this is a luxury hobby, guys, you know, that we often take for granted, but this is definitely a luxury item. It really is. These things are not cheap. So when stuff like that happens and it's consistent, you're like, damn, why am I buying this shit? Right? Like, I'm just gonna wait. And I think that's where we're going. And I know I'm veering off track a little bit here, but I think that's why Sideshow and Hot Toys is going this route again. They're trying to go back to the days of old where we're seeing, okay, anything in 2022 forward is now hitting wait list. They're coming in with smaller batches. They're trying to stabilize and heal the market, right? So, because you have to have a healthy secondary market, guys. If you don't have a healthy secondary market, then you don't have a business. You just don't. So let's go through a little bit of chat here. We'll move on. Hey, DeLorean, my dude, what's good, dude? I said I did a close inspection of the new promo photos. The weathering is the same as well as the damage marks. Only difference is different standard base and small force shield. This is a reissue. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm like looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, the color may be a little different, but it could be the lighting in the photos. But I feel like this PAZ VIZSLA is more of a baby blue color versus that deep blue that heavy infantry Mando has. But essentially, dude, yeah, same damn figure. Same figure. So if you have him, I don't see the need to purchase this one if you already have heavy infantry Mando. If you don't have them, great, right? Absolutely. Lewis Labitz, perfect example. What's up, my dude? Another longtime supporter of the channel. Missed the first one, this first time. Excited to pick this up, dude. Absolutely. So for people who don't have it, and that's what's cool, because at least Hot Toys isn't marking it up to, they're marking it up $4, bro. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was wrong. Last night I was thinking, shit, they're gonna drop this for 300, because I just figured they would just pinch pennies on it. But okay, a $4 increase from the original, not that bad. That's totally acceptable. So we'll bring them back up. We can bring them back up. I wish I could see these photos a little bit better, man. I should have saved them. So my apologies, guys. I know it's probably tiny, especially if you're on a phone. There's not a whole lot to write home about though, right? Because it's still a heavy Mando. I mean, you need only go look at the old photos to, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're looking at anything new here, other than the shield here as seen on screen. Local Lou, my brother, what is good, dude? Hope you're having a good day, brother. He says, what's popping, people? Hit that like button. Can't wait to get this guy. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. 100 in the chat, man. Hit that like button. Hey, new to the channel, subscribe. We're on the road to 5K, guys. We will be getting 5K soon, man. So I appreciate everybody's love and support, man, on the channel. 100%, dude. Boba Fettuccine says, my wallet is very glad to see this is a reissue of something I already have. More cash available to get new Mando figures. This is the way, brother. Absolutely, man. 1-6 figure focus. Shane, my friend, how are you, my dude? Says, I have the original. Promo photos look lighter. Could be the lighting, and the shield is extra. Reissue. No shade. I'm happy for those who want it. Yeah, and I, you know, and that's the thing. Like for this, I don't really feel like, because it's heavy Mando, just me as a collector and the way I think about things, I don't see it as an issue, right? Because it's just heavy Mando, and maybe that's just my train of thought. This gives people an opportunity to get it again. Cool. If it's a different character, I don't know, I may feel different about that. Or if they keep following suit, right? Like if, God forbid, next week they drop an armorer again, and then a week or two after that they drop fucking, you know, a Death Watch, then I'd be like, yo, what's going on? Are you guys, you know, that if that pattern developed, then I can understand people getting pretty pissed off, right? So I don't know. I wonder if the articulation will improve. The first is pretty hard to pose, especially with this weapon. I don't think so. Now for a $4 increase, I think there's zero R&D involved here. This is a straight reissue. So I'm not too sure. He's a little difficult. He's not like hard to pose, but he's chunky, you know what I'm saying? So he's a little, you know, but you can get him all right. But I don't think he's going to improve just because of the materials and everything, right? He's a big dude, so I don't think he's going to be easier to pose, right? I don't think they cut like corners or trimming anywhere. But you're right. It's a little difficult, especially with the LMG. So, and you know what irritates me though is I always, you know, said stuff, you know, prior in my streams is that, you know, if they do a reissue, I always feel like they should leave something out, because that's my only concern, is because if you give us the identical figure that we've already had, right, and then add additional stuff to it, then I think it devalues the original version, right? Because this isn't a 2.0, bro. This is a reissue. And what you've done is you've added more accessories to an existing release. So what happens to heavy infantry Mando in the secondary market, right? That's something to consider, because you get in the same exact figure, but now you're getting a shield. So if I was in the market of trying to buy a heavy Mando, wouldn't I opt to just get this version? Let's say they're both sold out, right? Let's fast forward like a year and a half or whatever, and now this PAZ VIZSLA is sold out. And I just come into the hobby and I would like to have a heavy infantry Mando. As a new purchase, right? What would you rather buy if they're both gone and you had to pick one? I think the majority of collectors are going to go with this one because he just has more stuff. So I feel like it devalues the original release, you know. And I understand the difficult choice, because what I was thinking was if they were going to put this guy out, he would have the shield, but he would not have the gun, right? Because he didn't really have the gun when we saw him, as it shows here, scene inspired by the Book of Boba Fett. Like, that would have kind of worked out, I think. I don't know if that would have pissed more people off, but I feel like that would have, through a collector standpoint, right? You would go, oh, well, heavy infantry Mando has the LMG. PAZ VIZSLA just has the shield. So they would be differentiated between the two releases, right? I don't know. But maybe that would piss people off too. I have no idea. You can't please everybody, dude. So I'm not sure. Local Loot says reissue with extras and a name on the plate versus it being called heavy. Yeah, I mean, that's really it, dude. That's it. They can drop a new one for every season, though. We'll get another Mando as well. Yeah, it's true. So we, you know, I don't know. You know, this is the point, right? I wonder how this will affect secondary market prices on the first heavy Mando. I'm not sure. He definitely won't be a $400 figure anymore. So 8-Bit Fleet says it's not a reissue. The other heavy is from season 1, and this is from Book of Boba Fett. That's the way I see it, or they see it. Well, that they could look at it that way. I, however, do not, and I'm the only one spending my money. So I look, you know what I mean? I look at it as a consumer. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What do I need this for? Doc Smizzle, what's good, my dude? He says, I would rather buy the cheapest one unless I would feel incomplete without the shield, which I feel nothing for. Well, that's another good point, right? If you don't care about the shield, then I would go with the cheapest route, of course. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm just saying it's you know, look, I got the poll going right now. We got 74 votes on the poll here. 86% of you guys in the chat are saying that this is a reissue. Now I guess that's, you know, up to debate. It's a matter of opinion. Is it fact? I don't know. Right? They didn't straight up label it reissue, but let's, you know, come on, let's be real here. Yeah, it's interesting, right? It should be labeled as Book of Boba Fett, not the Mando. And that's the thing though, right? So they're kind of tricking us where it's labeled the Mandalorian, right? But then they also have this scene inspired by the Book of Boba Fett, like text on all the photos. because as we know, it was like episode 6 or episode 7, right, of Book of Boba Fett, where those 2 episodes was just Mando season, 3.0, like right before, you know what I'm saying? So it was a Mando episode, but it was in the Book of Boba Fett because they realized they had no story with Book of Boba Fett, and then they had to give us some Mando because Book of Boba Fett was pretty lame. Book of Boba Fett should be labeled. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Yeah, collectors see it a different way. I agree, but it's not a reissue. Yeah, it's technically right. It's not listed right as a reissue. Lots Hometown Heroes though, my man. Thank you, dude, for the super chat, man. He says I'm cool with it because the last one waitlisted early, which I get, right? I totally get that. This is a great opportunity for people who missed it, because I'm not out here to try to like be like, haha, you don't have a heavy infantry Mando, you lose. Like, who fuck those kind of people, right? So I'm always like, it's cool that you have an opportunity to get something again. Absolutely, right? Case in point, like RoboCop, right? RoboCop is coming out again. For anybody who wanted a RoboCop, freaking sweet, dude. You're like, hell yeah, I can get a RoboCop. The difference, I think, with RoboCop though is it's been a while. I guess when we look at this though, he was announced November, I think, 2019. It is now 2023. Is that long enough time? I guess. They're riding the hype train. Mando is their cash cow for Star Wars, whereas Iron Man is their cash cow for Marvel. So expect a bunch of shit, right? Expect a bunch of shit. Let's hit some chat up a little bit. Boba Fettuccine says, yeah, really, who gives a crap about the shield? This is an awesome figure. And if you missed out on it originally, it's a great opportunity to get him. The Book of Boba Fett thing is an excuse for them to reissue it. Yes. I concur. Luminara, how are you doing this evening? Thank you for coming through. Or this afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. Mario says Paz Vizsla is a reissue the same way the Death Trooper in The Mandalorian was a reissue. Different MMS TMS for both figures, but essentially the same figure repackaged for the new media. Yeah. Right. So it's like this gray area, right, bro? It's like, okay, well, that's what it is. Here's another version, but we're going to repackage it and we may omit an item or something. The only difference is they didn't really omit anything with Heavy Mando. I mean, he still even has his dagger. He still has the big LMG. I don't see anything else different. Yeah, he still has his fucking rocket pack, so they didn't take that away. There's nothing they took away. He still has the flight base. It just says Paz Vizsla instead of Heavy Infantry Mando. Now, we're just discussing. It's not really a matter of... I think it's a matter of preference for everybody, but those are really the only subtle differences. Peyton says, Mafia, do you think it could be a different body for better articulation? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be, bro. I don't. I think it's just gonna be the same damn figure. Because why would they put more? They don't need to put anything into it for us, right? Because people who missed it are gonna buy it anyway. And the original release is still great. I mean, he's still a great figure. So I think you're okay. This is a situation where I feel like if you own Heavy Infantry Mando, you're in a great spot because he's a great figure. And subsequently, owning it, you don't need to buy this one. This is kind of a unique situation, right? Unless you wanted a shield, that's it. Or if you're like hard up for a Paz Vizsla tag on the base, which you can find down the road or something, right? So I think on one hand, if you own it, you're great. You're in a good position. You don't need to get rid of it. You don't need to get the new one. On the opposite end, if you missed it, you're getting the same figure with, an extra hand and a shield. So it's a win-win for everybody in this particular situation, I think. Let's hit up some chat, man. Thing is, I'll probably never display him with the shield. And some people probably won't, right? I know some people may. But that, I guess that's an option, right? That's an option. Who knows? Bob Dylan says, buy the Jazz Inc. Batwing, paint it chrome. because that's the closest to an N1 you're ever gonna get. Nah, man, we're getting the N1. All right, listen, this is Mario. It says N1 is coming from Iron Studios and Hasbro, but not from Hot Toys. When Hot Toys drops that N1, Mario's shaving the beard. It's coming. I've been saying it's coming for a year. You've been saying it's not. It's gonna be quite funny, man. That shit's gonna drop, dude. Watch. Probably within the next 1 to 9 weeks. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure. Anyway. Heck, if you need a shield, borrow caps. Hell yeah, dude. So, yeah, so I don't know, guys. This is what I'm thinking. I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's a cool thing for people to get, but you don't have to get it if you have the first one. I'm going to end this poll here. We got about 90 votes in the poll. 85% believe this is basically a reissue. So I'm going to put in one more poll here, guys. And I'm just asking you guys if you're buying it, because I'd be interested to know who's actually picking this one up. So very easy, just buying, yes or no. Just let me know in the chat here in the poll what you guys are deciding to do, because yes would probably mean that you don't have heavy Mando, right? Because I honestly don't feel like if you have heavy Mando, like I said, that you're going to buy him again. So I'm interested to seeing how many people are going to pick this guy up. But yeah, I mean, there's not much different. There's not a lot different. Not a lot different at all, guys. But again, it's a great figure. The original was a great figure. This is going to be a great figure. But what does that mean for the future of Mando, right? Like I said, are they going to end up giving us more reissues of what we have? Right? Because if you think about it, we already have all the characters that are in season 3 of Mando, unless there's some surprises that we don't know about, right? And we don't have Grief, right? So he's gonna have those garbs, right? Which looks cool if they release him that way, and he's wearing those. I don't know what he is. Is he a senator? He's something, right? I didn't pay attention enough to know what he is. But he's wearing like diplomatic, stuff like those robes. If they give him, if Hot Toys gets that as a figure, that's cool. That'll be something new that people don't have. Aside from that, we're seeing all the same faces in the trailer. Like I said, again, unless there's some surprises in there. And they want to milk the Mando line. I mean, the Mando line already is huge. They're not going to stop this train, right? So I feel like maybe they're going to do some more stuff that are reissues / 2.0s of the Mando line. I don't know. Bo-Katan on throne coming. Well, that could be. But see, that's the other thing, right? If they end up doing shit like that, then they end up devaluing some stuff and pissing a lot of collectors off. But we'll see. I am excited, though. I'm excited to see what they're going to do moving forward. I think dropping Heavy Mando as like a little appetizer before the show starts is a smart move. They're not really showing their cards yet, Hot Toys, because the show doesn't start until a couple days. So this is a good choice to do. And again, people who missed out, cool, they have an opportunity to get it again. So who knows, man? Who knows? I saw Mario at the shops yesterday. The one in the chat could be an imposter. It's funny, man. No, I mean, no, I really think so, man. I think that's kind of funny. The Leafs will win the Stanley Cup before that N1 gets released. I think that N1's coming. You guys know that. I've been saying it. If you guys watch my channel, I'm a firm believer. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm a firm believer that that shit's coming, man. A couple of years from now, it'll still be saying anytime now for the N1. Nah, bro, it's coming. It's coming. He ain't heavy. He's my Mando brother. That's hell yeah, dude. It's badass. Zenobia in the house. What's good, my man? He says nothing special here for PAZ VIZSLA. I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago when I bought him. Well, exactly, right? So this is what I was talking about, Zenobia. This is a prime example. For people who already have them, there's no real incentive here to get him again, right? And a lot of people in the chat agree, like, you only really need one heavy infantry Mando. That's it, right? Should you may have perhaps wanted a head sculpt and then they offered it, then I could see something a little different, right? I could see people being like, well, shit, I'm going to get this. It has a Jon Favreau head sculpt, right? But it doesn't. And nor should it. But I'm just saying, if they did that, that would be something that differentiated from the original release. And I can understand people wanting to get this in addition to one that they've already had, right? But no, that's not happening here. So Brandon, hello my friend, he said, could they have released this again to fund future creations of new figures in development? This is a good question, my friend, and I absolutely believe Hot Toys does this always and forever. It's like they're borrowing money from one person to pay for the other, right? Because so Heavy Mando, it just works, right? He's in the show, they can drop this out, they don't have to put a lot into this. They're essentially rerunning it, right? They're just rerunning it. The molds, they have all this stuff secured, they've done all this, right? So they can put this out with minimal investment, with maximum profit, and they could utilize that money moving forward on other things, right? Because maybe they're going to make a mold for another type of figure, and that mold is $20,000 for this mold, right? Well, they can rack up all that money from this, right? Which they've already have the mold, they already have this stuff. So yeah, that happens a lot, bro. Brandon, that's a good question, man, because not a lot of people, I don't tend to think they think about stuff like that, because that's what they do, man. When you already have those mold sets, it's so like trooper, you know, stormtroopers, clone troopers, fucking Mandos, you know, whether it's Death Watch, whatever, Armorer, you know, these are big molds that they've already done, dude. They're printing money, and good on them, right? Because it's a business, you know, they want to make their money. But yeah, they could use that money to invest into their business, you know, getting new molds for new figures, so on and so forth. So yeah, if it had a Favreau head sculpt, that would be awesome. I mean, yeah, exactly. There's very little difference or incentive to get this, right? Big Dog Pound says Hot Toys have become the Air Jordan of the 6 scale world. Well, I think in regards to the Mandalorian line and say Iron Man, right? Because what are we at now? I think we're at 87 or 88 in Iron Man, like from the beginning to now. But I think that's really cool though, man, because I know people that just love Iron Man, and there's definitely a market for it. And Iron Mans just keep getting better and better and better over time. It's interesting when people don't own Iron Mans and they're just like, oh, another Iron Man. And I'm like, but do you also collect Iron Mans? Because the older ones, man, are just not as good. They just don't hold up, man. They just don't hold up. You know, Hot Toys keeps improving like year after year. So I never understood that. I know that's a little bit of going off on a tangent, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, does Hot Toys need to improve or some other stuff? And it's like, bro, they do improve. Like, if you've been collecting for a long time, you would see that, like, there's big improvements. Are they all winners and zingers? No. Right? The Batman Begins, right, is arguably a horrible release. But for the most part, Hot Toys is always doing shit. They're always getting better. Man, always getting better. Anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent there. Chewy's Bandler says, quick question, Anthony, where did you get that Death Star window behind your Emperor? Looks amazing. This, my friend, is the Jazz Inc. Emperor Throne Room diorama. So it comes with both of the panels, the actual throne room. It's pretty cool, man. So shout out to Yoast on that. This is a perfect, like, complimentary piece to this scene, and I was like, I have to have this. So obviously Hot Toys not included, so but if you have all the Hot Toys, it looks badass. I love it, you know, so I'm all in that. Damn it, Spock, my man, he says Hot Toys needs to invest some of the reissue money into Star Wars alien characters, shockingly underrepresented. Yeah, you know, and that's something to consider too, right? If we really think about it, And these are small, right? So you have a Jawa, you have Wicket, and you have Quill, right? But those are tiny figures. Cad Bane, I believe, is the very first hot toy Star Wars alien that they've put out, aside from the 3 that I just mentioned. Like full, like 12-inch figure, right? Cad Bane, that's it. That's it. You know, unless, you know, like I said, you've got your Jawa and Wicket and Quill, sure. But Cad Bane's the full, like, the first one, right? Where Sideshow did a ton, man. Sideshow, and that's the thing, man. Sideshow has always done badass shit. Like, people forget that stuff. Well, Tusken Raiders, maybe, right? But see, I don't know if I'm deep into the lore enough to know. Has anybody seen what a Tusken Raider looks like unmasked? Right? Because that's not their face. Like, they're wearing masks. So I don't know if they're, you know, obviously they're humanoid creatures, but are they more in line with humans, or are they very alien underneath the masks? I don't know. But aside from that, they haven't really, like, Cad Bane is this is like our first big, you know, kind of alien. We need more than that. Because like I said, Sideshow made so much shit, dude. And all those are grails, guys. You know, it's funny, people bitch about Sideshow, but I don't know if a lot of people remember, you know, most of Sideshow of old, those are all grails, bro. All right. All you guys who love Clone Wars, man, go after all those Sideshow clones, man. If you have, I'm sure you've looked. Not only that, all their Scum and Villainy line, all the aliens and creatures they've done. The fucking Dewback, the Tauntaun, they did so much stuff, man. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why Sideshow stopped doing it. Not only did they completely stop, Hot Toys never picked it up. So Hot Toys isn't doing it. So now where there's this void, which is arguably a very important role of Star Wars, is, you know, creatures, aliens, and droids. And at least Hot Toys is kind of doing pretty good with droids on that front. But creatures and aliens, bro, we are lacking. We are severely lacking in that department as a collector. Greedo would, yeah, exactly, bro. It's just really weird, dude. Tuskens look like how Tali looks in Mass Effect. That's his fuck, dude. Hell no, bro. No, dude. Tusken Raiders do not look like Tali. Shout out though, Mass Effect's like my favorite trilogy of video games. That's funny though, bro. Try and buy a Dengar that's not at least $450. Exactly, bro. You understand that. You know, they're expensive. Some Sideshow pieces. Anyway, I digress, but you guys understand what I'm saying. We want more of that in Hot Toys, or for Star Wars, right? In particular, I don't even give a shit if Sideshow started doing them again, right? Because they've done them. And they're not bad figures. They're not bad. So, you know, even if Sideshow was like, hey guys, we're gonna kick this back up again, you know, and a lot of the old shit that we've done, we're gonna do it again because we're Sideshow. It's our shit. We can just always keep putting it out. I would be fine with even that, man. Even that, I'd be like, fucking Sideshow, dude, do some shit. Cool. I'm all in. So it's not like a Hot Toys versus Sideshow situation. It's just the fact that right now it's an untapped market in the 6-scale world. So somebody's got to do it. If anybody's out there listening, help us out, man. Hook a collector up, right? We all want this stuff, right? People in the chat, right? You guys would buy the aliens. You guys would buy the creatures. Maybe not all of you, but I know a lot of you would. So I just don't know why that's lacking right now. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap, guys. We'll just keep it at an hour, you know. Appreciate everybody tuning in, dude. I'm going to end the poll really quick. So it looks like 80%, 79% of everybody is not buying this. Interesting. But I would also suspect that to be expected. I mean, if you guys already have, if you already have Heavy Mando, you don't need Heavy Mando. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me, dude. I hope everybody has a good rest of their day. Tomorrow, I'm going to start my new show. Well, it's the second one of my new show that I don't have a name for. So tune in tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, where we're talking a little bit of 6-scale figures. We're talking some statues. We're talking some comic books. talking about all sorts of cool shit in the collecting world, man, other than hot toys. So if you guys want to listen to us, you know, gab about all sorts of cool shit, that's what I'm doing on Tuesdays. That's about it, guys. So hope everybody has a good rest of the day, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.